Welcome back, everyone, to week 17 of the Wild West.
Let's go.
Hey,
Travis. Is your boy Tristan?
Everett here.
it's your Buckeye believing, who they hopeful, Captain K with the Grizz.
All right, and this is your host, Carlos. All right, we are going to break down the World Cup Swift Kick Final. Also, Henry Polar recaps the DDK Fantasy Football lineup, Driz and Lowe's Players of the Week, and our favorite show,
Who's hot
and
who's not?
All right, let's go ahead and take a quick pause and thank our following sponsors.
Well, I don't know about you folks, but here at Sportsfellas, things can get, well, a nice right funk going on sometimes. And in that time of need, we turn to our friend Kimberly Sampson, our own personal Cincy independent consultant. She is our favorite star consultant, so for your scent needs, get a hold of Kimberly at heavenlyscentswithkim@gmail.com or visit her website, heavenlyscentswithkim.cincy.us. You can also call her at 316-282-7363. That's Kimberly Sampson at Cincy, our favorite independent consultant.
All right, well, the World Cup came to an end with Argentina capturing their third cup, defeating France in overtime and penalty kicks. Anybody watch the game?
I did.
How was it, Everett?
Nerve-wracking.
It was pretty intense, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought I was watching. I watched a good chunk of it, not the entirety, but you saw Argentina up there 2-0, and you're like, "Oh, this will be short and
Easy.
sweet game."
And then Mbappe scored 2.
He just went off, didn't he?
Well, he had a hat trick. He scored 3.
By the
Plus,
end, yeah.
So, but
Oh, yeah.
indeed, it was a great game. There was a couple questionable calls, but at the end of the day, Argentina just was able to capture and manage, and I think that was one of the best World Cups I've seen in my lifetime. We're looking forward to the World Cup when they come to the U.S., Mexico, and Canada. So that will be in 2026. But in the
Right.
meantime, it's not done yet. Swift Kicks will break down soccer leagues in Europe, and also we'll do a little bit of MLS for all our soccer fans. All right, let's go ahead and take a quick pause. Thank our following sponsors.
Hey guys, have you ever seen those little towns in Kansas and wondered, what's there? Let me tell you about a hidden gem in Salina, Sky Trampoline. It is the perfect place for both family outings and spending the day with friends. They have large open trampoline jump court, a ninja course, a setup to test or develop your parkour skills, and that's not even close to everything. Additional fun can be had in their foam pit, dodgeball area, a laser maze, and even an arcade. They also have specialty events with black light lit trampolines and a DJ. Sky Trampoline is located at 1820 South 9th Street in Salina, Kansas, and is open every day until at least 9 most days and sometimes even later. Give Sarah a call at 785-491-1118.
All right, it's Henry Polar recaps. Let's break down in the NHL, in the Eastern Conference, in the Atlantic. We have the Boston Bruins in first. In the Metro Division, we have the Carolina Hurricanes. Moving on over to the Western Conference, we have the Dallas Stars in first place. In the Pacific, the Las Vegas Golden Knights. All right, stay tuned. We will keep breaking down the NHL in our local leagues. Let's take a quick pause and thank our following sponsors.
Hey guys, why don't you check out She Barber Cuts Barbershop and give Markeisha Brown, the licensed professional barber there, a call at 316-218-3566 for all your haircut needs. She's got cuts for kids, adults, and for those looking for the good one, the deluxe with beard trims, wash, and hot towels. So don't forget to give Markeisha a call at She Barber Cuts and see her at 2319 North Ridge, Barber Suite 6A here in Wichita, Kansas.
You guys, we are here in week 17. Some fun games here. I mean, they're pretty intense. We've got a lot of implications going on for playoffs and some that are not as relevant. So let's go ahead and dive in here. On the Thursday night game, we have the Dallas Cowboys, America's team, going against the Tennessee Titans. Travis, who are you taking?
I'm going to take the Cowboys on this one. Tennessee, they're having a lot of injuries. Derrick Henry's doubtful for the game. Ryan Tannehill had ankle surgery. A bunch of injuries on defense. I'm going to go with Dallas on this one.
Yeah, give me Dallas. Derrick Henry's most likely not going to play. What are they going to do without Henry? They can't pass the ball. And, they're going to struggle. And against that defense, it's going to be a bad time for Tennessee.
I'm going to also take Dallas. I mean, the Cowboys could come through and beat the Eagles. I mean, all being said, they didn't have Jalen Hurts. But without Derrick Henry, the Cowboys have a lot better. Yeah.
I'm going to go Cowboys as well. Obviously, Mike Vrabel's a great coach, and that's and good defensive coach. So the Titans could give them a problem at home on a Thursday night. But we expect Cowboys to win, so when we start to expect things from the Cowboys, they usually disappoint us. That being said, I'm going to go Cowboys for this one, though.
I'm looking forward to the Cowboys' new helmet and uniform. That's going to look awesome. I've never in my lifetime seen the Cowboys switch it up except on Thanksgiving. So they're going to be rocking their white helmets, and they're just going to go in, take care of business. I mean, again, mathematically they could still win the division, but it's highly unlikely. I think the Eagles will go ahead and hang on to that. This is going to be a good opportunity for them to kind of rest. I would rest some of their plays, especially with Pollard questionable right now, and I would focus a lot on tweaking up defensively, because still the Eagles, without Jalen Hurts, and you're right, Everett, without Jalen Hurts, still gave Dallas a hard time.
Gardner Minshew did really good.
So, Minshew mania.
He did that. He's done that before, but you don't want to count on him for the long haul.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and take Dallas on this game here. All right, moving on over, we have the Arizona Cardinals going against the Atlanta Falcons. Chris, who are you taking?
This is a tough one. I mean, you've got two pretty rough teams. Obviously, the Cardinals played a close one last week against the Bucs, losing in overtime. And who's even quarterbacking for him now? I know McCoy went down in that one.
McCoy is coming back.
Is he going to be back this week? Not that says much. And you got Desmond Ridder, I think, still in there for the Falcons. This game's going to be a rough one. I'm going to take the home team in here. Just go Falcons. I think, Cardinals may be a little jet lagged. I'm not sure.
I'm going to also take the Cardinals. I mean, yeah.
I'm going to go with – I think I'll go with Falcons. It's kind of hard to choose. Both teams are iffy, like no franchise QB, injuries, rough seasons. So I'm just going to, flip a coin and go with the Falcons this week.
I'll go with Arizona. I'll give it to Cole McCoy, the veteran. I feel like he can go win this one. It'll be a close game, not high score, and I feel like he can take the final drive and win it for them. So I'll give it to Arizona.
I'm going to go ahead and take Arizona as well. I mean, the tempo of the game is just going to be established with the run, especially with James Conner running the ball. And then also that's a safe factor. And also with D-Hop not really being able to be explosive since he doesn't have Murray there. And I just feel this is a game where both teams they're irrelevant. I mean, Atlanta, it's a gradually long stretch of them trying to even get into the playoffs, but I highly doubt it. This is just going to be one of those boring teams. Which bird is better? Which uniform is better? So I'll go ahead. I'll take Arizona. Moving on over to the NFC North, we have the Chicago Bears against the Detroit Lions. Tristan, who are you taking?
Give me the Lions. They've been struggling the past couple weeks, but I still like their team. They still have a great young team, and Bears have not really done anything all season besides their quarterback picking it up, man. And yeah, give me Lions this week.
Also take the Lions here. Lions won round 1 of the series against them, so I feel like they can take round 2 against the Bears.
I'm going to go with the Lions as well. I think they did come off a rough game last week, but I think overall they're the better team, better coach for sure, I would say. And so for that reason, I'm going to go Lions at home.
I'm going to go with the Lions. They're home, and even though they lost to Carolina, I think with home and the better coach, better team, they're going to pull it in.
The thing is that game against Carolina was surprising. Carolina, they established the run. They've torched Detroit, and that's something Campbell's have to look into, because Chicago-wise, what do they have? I mean, they're depleted, and they're not going anywhere. In Detroit, this is a must-win for Detroit. They need this win if they want to squeak in, because they're depending on, if I'm not mistaken, is it the Commanders or the Giants that they're
Commanders to lose.
Okay, so if Commanders lose and they win, they can win out and Detroit go in. So this is going to be a desperate game for Detroit, and I think Coach Campbell's going to get them ready. So I'm going to take Detroit. All right, moving on over to Dristan's team,
Chiefs Kingdom, baby.
the Kansas City Chiefs. Right now going against
Carlos's team.
Oh gosh, yes, the Denver Broncos. All right, so let's just make this quick and fast, guys. All right, Tristan, go.
Well, where do I even start with this one?
Next, Travis.
I'll take Kansas City on this one.
Kansas City, and is there really any reason.
There's a lot of reasons. There.
Is there any reason not to? That's I think what he meant. I'm gonna go Kansas City. I mean, we all saw last week.
No, I'm gonna take it back. Let's rewind back. I'm gonna give this back to Driston. No, I'm not gonna steal his. I'm not gonna take away his thunder. Go for it.
I don't think it's hard to think about. I think.
Okay, next. Okay,
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
so I know. No, go ahead. Okay, I'm playing. I'm playing. All right,
I
go,
don't know.
go.
I mean, there's not much to say. You know, the Broncos, man. I read that they're having the least points per game than what, like the 2016 Browns or something like that. Something like a really terrible team. I don't know what team.
Browns that lost every game.
Yeah,
I think,
like they
for
have the
2
worst
years.
points per game than one of the worst teams in NFL history, and that's how it's going looking for you guys.
Yes, it's. I've come to terms. What I did was I was kind of bored during the holidays. I took all my Denver stuff. You know, I ironed it, cleaned it, ironed it, pressed it really nice, tucked it in real nice fashion, and put it in the bag, vacuumed it out, and I tucked it in. You know why I did that? Because that's how my team is doing. I mean, we are in horrible shambles, and I give credit to Rippon for really stepping up and defending his quarterback. The question is asked, is Russell Wilson fixable? That is the question. Now, the thing is based on experience. This is a guy, you know, let's just put him up in calibers. I mean, he's been to 2 Super Bowls, won 1, lost 1. So that's there. I mean, when he was cooking, he was cooking. But now that he's not been able to do that, one of the things that I highly suggest for Denver is that when they go into the coaching, and thank goodness that he better be thankful the GM of the Broncos, because I thought he was going to get fired with Nathaniel Hackett, but they kept him. If they go into this coaching search, the number one thing they need to ask themselves is Russ going to be fixable? Because you can't just let him go. I mean, that's a $240-something million contract. You can't just say, "Oh, the $240 million, no big deal."
Yeah, they
can't do that. So there were some names that have been circulating around, and I'm going to put one out there. Why not talk to Sean Payton?
Oh, he's been linked there, I think.
Why? He's a good, and I've said to Driston, why not
But-
talk to his offensive coordinator?
You've got to explain to Sean Payton why he should go to a place that's got
we
such
got mountains.
The team. And although I will say with this game, I'm sure the Chiefs are very big, heavy favorites here. So if you're betting, it's still a divisional game, and the Broncos are going to be going out. I mean, all those defenders get
Broncos
paid.
gave us a hard time last game.
And yeah, and if you guys remember the last game, even with Russell Wilson, I mean, he was playing pretty well there. And I'll say that for Russell Wilson, like he was trying every game. Like he never was going out there like, well, we're down, we'll just hand it off and not try. Like he was still throwing the ball, taking hits. I mean, so
It's still Kansas City.
yeah.
All right, let's move on over to the AFCs. We have the Miami Dolphins going against the New England Patriots. Chris, who are you taking?
This is a tough one. I know the Dolphins are dealing with some major blows to Tua. I don't think he's going to be playing this
he's
week.
out.
So you got Teddy Bridgewater coming in, and I think the last time he played, he made it like half a series. So we'll see how far he can make it against the Patriots, because they're going to be coming hard. That defense is good. They shut down the Bengals second half last week, if you guys are watching that. Thankfully for me, the Bengals still pulled it off. But that was a tough game, that second half. The Patriots and Mac Jones's dirty plays, he's probably going to throw a couple cheap shots at the Dolphins. So I'm going to go I'm going to go Patriots at home here with Mac Jones taking a couple cheap shots.
I'm gonna go Patriots as well, and then Bourne, he was hitting it off in the Bengals game, and their defense was shutting out the Bengals.
Yeah, definitely going Patriots just because Tua's not starting. I mean, I feel like with their defense in there and then with the weapons they have offensively, they could stand a chance. But, Patriots last 2 weeks, they've lost, but they've been really close games, and they've been playing really well. And like Everett said, Bourne's been doing good, Myers has been doing good, and Mac Jones has been doing decent. But it's really that defense was getting Ramondre Stevenson in the backfield.
Pre-cheating or post-cheating?
Yeah, both.
Okay.
I'll go Patriots also. Tua's not playing. Both are fighting for that final AFC playoff spot, so I'll go Patriots.
I'm gonna go Patriots. So well, they're at home, and the thing is with Teddy coming in, that they just look different. When Tua's there, they were doing great against the Packers, but it seemed like Coach LaFleur, he figured it out what they were doing, and you just saw Tua struggling. And the thing is that they just really slowed down their game, and they were getting to him. They were getting to the quarterback, and the thing is that New England, we're talking about Bill Belichick, he's going to find those gaps to get in. And is Bradley Chubb still going to play, or he's still out?
I do not know about that.
See, I don't even. If he's out, they're going to struggle. The pass rush is going to be out there. So, yeah, I'll just go ahead and take New England. Let's move on over. We have the Indianapolis Colts going against the G-Men of the Giants. All right, Tristan, who you taking?
Give me the Giants. You know, Colts just look sloppy. They can't find a quarterback whatsoever, man, and that's the main reason. Without a quarterback, you're screwed.
I'm also going to go Giants here. I mean, they're playing well right now, 8-6-1, I believe. I feel like they're going to have a strong finish to the playoffs. So I'm going to go with Giants.
I'm also going to go with the Giants. I think at home they're going to be strong, and Colts have. I mean, the Jeff Saturday deal was feel good there for a little bit, but it does not look so good on the field anymore. And like Travis was saying, the quarterback situation is bad. So I think the Giants are going to be able to pull this one at home out and stay firmly in the playoffs.
I'm going to also pick the Giants. Even with Buckner, the Colts have not been doing very good. Giants are home, and without a QB that really matter or that can count.
Now, that Sunday night game, the Chargers and the Colts, you know, it just stands out that the Colts, they don't back down, and I give them credit, especially with Buckner going in there, and then also you have Stephon Gilmore as that leader on that defense. I mean, they've got they can still go after you. And the thing is you said it, offensively, I mean, Pittman, okay. Taylor has been not as explosive as last year.
He's been banged up.
So, and then there's no quarterback. And the thing is right now, the Giants, they are close to, they're locking in right now in the wild card, and I don't think they're going to want no game to slip up. So let's go ahead. Let's take the Giants on this game. All right, we have the New Orleans Saints against the Philadelphia Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. Travis, who are you taking?
I'm going to take the Eagles here on this one. I know they lost to Dallas, close game, but I feel like Gardner Minshew is going to go in this one if he does start, or if it's Jalen Hurts. I feel like they're still going to get the win.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going to sit Jalen Hurts because at this point, I feel like Gardner Minshew made a really great he played a really great game, and there's no reason to take him out and risk, your quarterback getting out before the playoffs and injuring him or anything like that. So even with Gardner Minshew, I have a lot of faith in him because with that performance he had against Dallas, it was great. I think he played phenomenal. So Eagles should have no problem beating them this week.
I'm gonna also pick the Eagles with Goddard. They're gonna make some good catches, and even if Jalen Hurts isn't in, still.
Yeah, and I think the Saints, they had a good game against the Browns, pulled out a win, but there's just a pretty significant overall team difference between the Eagles and the Saints. Eagles at home, that's the way I'm going.
Yeah, fly, Eagles, fly. I mean, this was a great game for Minshew. He proved that even though he could not capture the win, still, Miles Sanders did kind of got them out of that win. The thing is that the guy didn't fumble all year, and then he fumbled the last two games, and that costed the game. But again, A.J. Brown proves that he's still a weapon.
Yeah, he does.
And the run game is not bad. Miles Sanders, when he's on it. So that's something that goes to show that Philly is going to be focusing on to capture that number one seed, so the NFC will go through Philadelphia. So I'll take Philly on this game. Next up, the NFC South showdown. Potential playoff implications here for the division, if I'm not mistaken. We've got the Carolina Panthers going against the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Welcome to Tampa Bay. We buck 'em up when we raise the flag. Fire the cannons and seize the day. The crew's ready, all hands on deck, no parlay.
Chris, who you taking?
I think I got to go Tom Brady and the Bucks at home on this one. The Panthers had a big win last week against Detroit, but you're talking about pretty significant makeups of teams between the Detroit and Buccaneers, especially when you've got Tom Brady on the Bucks. So I think I'm going to go ahead and stick with the Bucks. They pulled out that win last week. They're getting a little roll here, going and try to work going into the playoffs. So yeah, let's go Bucks.
I'm gonna also take the Bucks, even though the Panthers with good win against Detroit. The Bucks with Tom Brady, and at home, they're gonna pull it in.
I'm going to go with Carolina this week. I think Carolina's been playing really good football past couple weeks. They have some losses there, but I think they've been playing really good. And the fact that they're fighting for the division right now is pretty crazy to me. The only reason is, Tampa has a great defense, but offensively they struggle to score points.
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
For some reason, when they get in the red zone, they have to settle for field goals, and it's just frustrating with such an elite offense. And I think that's going to be the reason Carolina wins. I don't think that, they're going to score.
I'm going to go with the Bucks here. Coming down to the final wire, both teams need this win to pretty much win the division. I'm going to go with Bucks. Their defense is going to probably control that run game, and I feel like that's what's going to be the key for Carolina to winning. I feel like they're just going to stop that, so I'm going to go Bucks.
I'm going to take Carolina. The thing is, last week, the run game was the staple of their win against Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is that right now, P.J. Walker, who's starting, P.J. or
I
it's
thought it was Darnold.
If it Sam Darnold? Okay, if Sam Darnold's in, this is all he has to do. Game management. Make the plays when you need it. Get DJ Moore in there. I mean, DJ Moore had a great game last week.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes to show that, hey, if Tampa Bay can't get to them and they start struggling, Carolina can captivate. So I'm going to take Carolina in this upset. Moving on over, we have the Cleveland Browns against the Washington Commanders. Justin, who are you taking?
I'm going to go with Commanders on this one. Ever since Deshaun Watson came back, he has been playing to the level we all thought he'd be playing at, and offensively they've really been struggling. So give me the Commanders because they have a really good defense.
I'll take the Browns on this one. Carson Wentz is going to be the starter this week. They announced that today. And Carson Wentz is Carson Wentz. So I'm going to take the Browns on this one.
I did not realize that Carson Wentz, I might have, I'm going to let Everett go real quick. I'm going to have to think about it for a second.
Yeah, I'm going to also take the Browns with Carson Wentz. Yeah, and Nick Chubb playing.
I am going to go with the Commanders. I know it is Carson Wentz, but I'm going to stick with my original pick. I think that I'm not a fan of what Deshaun Watson's been doing on the field. It looks pretty bad, and the Commanders, like Tristan said, do have a good defense. They are also playing to try to stay in the playoff hunt. So with that, I think I'm going to go with the Commanders at home beating the Browns.
I'm going to take the Commanders as well. This is Terry McLaurin's favorite quarterback. I mean, Carson Wentz is a sit in the pocket type of player, and he distributes the ball to. So I know Curtis Samuel and McLaurin are going to appreciate him a little bit more. Tyler Heineke had a great run, but the thing is, he's indecisive. Still needs a little bit more comfort in the pocket. And especially with their run game. I mean, they've got a good run game. I mean, if they can just be able to run, get the points, score on the board, and be able to slow down Cleveland's run game and just get them out of the picture, they got this. And right now it's a playoff implication for them because they're in the wild card spot right now. So they cannot afford any losses. Moving on over to the AFC South, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars against the Houston Texans. Chris, who you taking?
I know the Jaguars have been kind of hot lately. Texans had a big win, but they've had some really close games even leading up to that big win. I think they were just kind of on the cusp, and I think that the Texans are going to be trying to play a little spoiler to their division rival, the Jaguars. So I'm going to go with Texans at home.
I'm going to go with the Jags with Trevor Lawrence, and he's going to be throwing a good amount of passes and his scrambling power.
I'm going with the Jags. They're playing great. They're going to hold on to that division and make the playoffs. And the Texans have been hanging on, but man, at the level Trevor Lawrence has been playing, he's playing phenomenal now. He's who we thought he was going to be coming into the season last year. Right. I feel like he's finally getting there, finally getting it. He's playing phenomenal.
I'm also going to go with the Jags here. Trevor Lawrence is playing very well the last few weeks. Texans are keeping up close games, but I'm going to go with the Jags.
I'd like to see the Jags represent the AFC South. I mean, the thing is with the Titans, they've had their run, but they're just depleted, and I'd rather see the Jags and see a young face go in. Let's say if the season would end right now and we're into the playoffs and the Jags has the 4th seed, who would they play?
The Ravens.
Okay, so it's a good start. I mean, I'd rather see them than the Titans. So I'm going to take the Jags in this game. All right, we have the NFC West division champs, the San Francisco 49ers, going against the Las Vegas Raiders. Tristan, who are you taking?
I mean, it's simple. It's the NFC West champs versus the AFC West chumps.
Oh.
What did he say?
Oh, shots fired. Yeah. No, Derek Carr's not starting. They got a brand new quarterback in there.
Yeah,
their season's over, man. It's gone. No games. These last 2 games are losing.
So is this like a relationship? Is this the breakup? Is this where the part it hurts the most?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, nice. All right.
I'm going to go with the 49ers. Derek Carr is being benched this week. San Fran's defense is playing phenomenal. I'm going to go with the Niners.
I'm going to go with the 49ers. With Carr out, and the 49ers defense with Nick Bosa and Fred Warner been playing very well. And then on offense, they've got George Kittle and Deebo Samuel catching the passes.
The 49ers is who I'm going to go with. I think what we were talking with the Raiders, it feels like they're quiet quitting. They're just like, we're not quitting the year, but we're quitting the year.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
They're trying to see it seems like it's pretty obvious they're going to move on from Derek Carr, which is weird because I thought Adams went there to play with Derek Carr from their college days. So that we'll see what happens there, but they're doing the whole, we got to see what we got in the young guys so we know if we need a draft or trade or whatever. So I'm going to go with the 49ers. I think they win this pretty easily.
Yeah, I'm going to take the 49ers as well. The thing is, back to the Raiders, especially with Derek Carr, that game against the Steelers, there's no excuse. There's just no excuse. And the thing is that's why, besides the money, the location, that's why Adams went over there. I mean, the rapport's there. I mean, we've seen Derek Carr have great games. I mean, the thing is I think the benching this week will help him kind of reflect, take a step back. I'm not saying that Derek Carr is a Super Bowl quarterback, but like I said, people can change. Hopefully he can. I mean, the thing is I don't like Josh McDaniels as the coach there. They need to bring somebody that will change the culture and maybe go a blast in the past, and maybe somebody talks to Coach Madden or somebody, or
do a seance
or a Gruden, something. I don't know. But the thing is shout out to our Raider fans. That was just a terrible game. I mean, they shouldn't have lost like that. I mean, you let Pittsburgh just literally beat you guys up, and the thing is that how are you guys going to compete in the AFC? I mean, well, forget it. We're not going to put it as a whole, but if you're not able to match up against the Chargers and the Chiefs, you guys are just going to be in the bottom half. I mean, come join Denver because we're not making any progress there. So let's move on over to the Jets. Jets. All right. The Jets going against the Seattle Seahawks. Who are you taking, Travis?
I'm going to take the Jets on this one. Seattle looked terrible last week. I mean, Geno Smith, he was throwing not so good. Watched that firsthand. Jets, they've been up, down. Mike White is coming back this week. So I'm going to go with the Jets.
Mike White's coming back this week. I think that's why they're going to win. And because Seattle, they've really been falling off. I don't know what's going on with them. I haven't really been watching their games, but they've been losing a lot, and they've been struggling. And I think the Jets' defense is really what's going to seal the deal on this game, too.
I'm going to also take the Jets. Geno Smith has not been doing well the past couple weeks, and Jets with Mike White back, they're going to reel it in.
And the Jets, even with their when they were playing poor with Zach Wilson, which if you guys remember in that one Sportsfellas, I did say he'd get a chance because of injury, and he did, and he proved why he's not going to get another chance, I think. Mike White being back in, I'd say go Seahawks. I would be interested to see maybe a Derek Carr in that Jets green next year. That could be because I think Salah's staying there, and that's going to be a really good team with that. If they have just Derek Carr's pretty decent, so if he's got a good running game, which we've seen him have, and the defense there is definitely better than Vegas. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I'm going Jets in this game.
This is going to be a defensive scheme. I mean, the thing is that Tyler Lockett is projected to come back. Maybe, depends. I mean, other than that, DK Metcalf has been quiet. Noah Fant hasn't done much. Their run game, Kimball Walker, did he play last week in Kansas City?
Yeah, he's the one that did the majority of the work.
Yeah, so, I mean, the thing is Seattle, again, they know that they're looking forward to next year. We all know because they're counting on the draft picks that they're going to get. So Geno Smith is not the answer, and I know Pete Carroll's going to probably get this team coached back to prominence. And like I said, I mean, Seattle's not no pushover team either. It's just that this is not their year. So we'll take the Jets. Moving on over to the NFC North showdown. We have the number 2 and the division winners of the Minnesota Vikings. The Skull. Can someone do a skull with me? Skull. All right. And then, so Tristan, who are you taking?
I'm going to take Green Bay.
Gosh, I said all that, and then you said, I'll take Green Bay.
Oh, I'll take Green Bay. I think they've been playing great football the past couple of weeks. They're really getting it together and when it matters. They're keeping their playoff hopes alive, and I think they're going to come out and show out because Christian Watson's been doing phenomenal. Hopefully he's playing. I know he was questionable, and Aaron Jones. And they have the weapons, and they've been doing good the past couple of weeks, so it's going to be a nice game, though.
I'm going to go with the Vikings. Justin Jefferson. Man, he's been catching too much for the Packers to handle, even with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I'm going to go Vikings as well. I think they're still fighting for first place bye. There's still a chance, especially while Jalen Hurts is hurt. They still see it as an opportunity, that the Eagles might lose another one and get the Vikings back there in a place that they could get that bye. I just think the Vikings don't like the Packers. I mean, you got division rivals, and there's been many years the Packers have wiped the floor with them, and I think they're looking to finalize that this year with them.
I'm also going to go with the Vikings. Green Bay, they had a win last week, but Tua kind of threw the last 200. I mean, that was just.
I think
all
that was
Tua.
more defensive.
That was all Tua.
I mean, he said he got hurt in the second quarter. That's why he's out this week.
Yeah.
And all 3 interceptions were in the second half.
Yeah. I mean,
he wasn't seeing people.
Yeah. But I'm going to take Minnesota. I mean, Minnesota's been playing strong these last few weeks. So I'm going to take Minnesota.
I wouldn't say strong, Travis. I mean, I'm saying barely. But it's going to come down to the wire. I think it's going to be in the trenches type of kind of game. And I do agree with Tristan because you got to look at it like this. I mean, the thing is Minnesota is not a first half team. They just find a way to win the second half. And the thing is, this is not a strong Green Bay team. They have gotten better. The pass rush has gotten much better. But when you really think about it again, offensively, I mean, I don't think they're going to be able to hold. I don't think they're going to hold Jay Jett. There's no. I doubt
Nobody's
that.
been able to hold.
They're not going to hold him down. And the thing is with Thielen, I keep saying this on the show. I don't know why he's not getting the looks like he used to. It's not making sense. And then Hawkinson had a great game last week. So I think Green Bay is going to have their hands full, and especially with Dalvin Cook kind of keeping the tempo on the run game. I'm going to call it out. I've been good so far on my call-outs. I think Minnesota's going to win again by a field goal.
Nice.
Last second. So I'm going to call that. All right. Next up, we have AFC West against the NFC West. We have the Los Angeles Rams going against the Los Angeles Chargers. Go Bolts. You're boring, dude. Come on.
I know.
Put some electricity into that. Okay, we'll do the effect there. All right. So, Travis, who are you taking?
Obviously, I'm going to take my Chargers here. Hopefully, the Rams don't have a week like last week. I mean, that was just insane.
Well, they had a week like last week because they were playing the
Exactly.
Broncos.
But yeah, I got to take my Chargers in the Battle of LA. So, good. Go Chargers.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's got to be the Chargers, man. I hate to say it. Keenan Allen's been playing phenomenal, and Herbert's really picked it up. It's just they're a playoff-bound team, and unfortunately, the Rams are not.
I'm going to pick the Chargers.
Hey, Travis, I was curious. Do you know, have they played each other? Is this the first time they've played each other in SoFi?
Yes, first time. Well, in regular season, they played preseason. But yeah.
Who has the home advantage?
According to the schedule, the Chargers do, but we'll see.
In the stands, because depending on it's probably just going to be a big mix of everyone that doesn't care in LA.
Wow.
So anyway, I'm going to go Chargers on this one for sure. They're looking better, and I think the Rams, I think it was a little bit of who they were playing. They are starting to look a little better. That offense is starting to gel, but I don't think they're going to have quite enough to stop the Chargers. I don't think that the Chargers are going to have quite as many turnovers and bad mistakes like happened last week. So yeah, I'm going Chargers at home on this one.
Now, does this game have any implications for the Chargers since they already locked up the wild card spot?
No, if Ravens lose, we win. We might move up to the 5th seed, but that's about it.
Now, before I pick my pick, how would you like it to be played out? Do you want to be the 5th seed?
I'd rather be the 5th seed. I'd rather go to Jacksonville than Cincinnati.
Sure.
Okay, so yeah, definitely keep players there. Yeah, I'm gonna
Or could be Kansas City or Buffalo, depending on how things work out.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
No
I'd
matter
go to
what.
Kansas City. That's a easier game to play against.
No matter what, you are getting knocked out in the first round. I don't know
Okay,
what's-
okay.
Oh, wow, shots fired. Tristan, I cannot wait. I can imagine Tristan losing. We'll sit here and roast him. Roast him.
Oh, that would be definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, saute him in the kitchen. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna take the Chargers as well. I mean, this was great. What a great accomplishment that they were terrible, and then all of a sudden they were able to come together. And like I said, Austin Eckler has stepped up. Keenan Allen, of course, Mike Williams, and then you have Kelly when you need him. And the thing is still we need. When is Boza coming back?
They were saying this week he should be practicing, but he probably won't play. Probably next week if we do play him.
I would think they'll want to get him once in the regular
They
season
need
before
they
playoffs.
need a little more defense help. I mean, because the thing is the pass rush. I mean, Khalil Mack is doing what he can, but there's still more players that they could use to step up. And I know Boza would be such a major help. I mean, that's what he was there for. And then also with Asante Samuel Jr. Locking up, I do agree. Now that I think about it, you do want to go to Jacksonville. I wouldn't want to go to Cincinnati. So, all right, moving on over to the AFC North showdown. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Baltimore Ravens. Listen, who take it?
Give me the Ravens, just because Pittsburgh doesn't really have a great offense. They have a good defense, but offensively they're not there.
Is Lamar Jackson playing? That's a real question.
I don't know.
If he does not, I'm going to go with you know what? Just give me the Steelers. Their defense, I hope that they can take them out of the game and make it just a defensive battle, but I'm going to go with Steelers.
I'm going to go with the Ravens. With Lamar Jackson's back, it would be definitely better, but like Tristan said, the Steelers do not have a very good offense. Their defense with TJ Watt is going to be able to shut down. It'll be harder on the Ravens offense, but still, I think the Ravens are going to.
Well, and the Ravens beat the Steelers a few weeks ago, didn't they? Without Lamar Jackson, or did the Steelers pull that off? The Ravens won that one too.
Yeah, by 2 points.
And I think they're going to win this one at home. It's always what they used to call it, a slobber knocker. That's what they used to call it. The Steelers-Ravens games, they're always tough. There's going to be some big banging. Steelers do have the better defense, but that offense is pretty woeful. I know there was a lot of talk about how well Kenny Pickett did last week, but man, he didn't have much. It wasn't a hard go for him, and he didn't do that well. I think it was 13-10 was the final score. Wasn't like he was putting up 25, 30. So I'm going to go Ravens on this.
This is an in the trenches type of game. I mean, we've had a lot of history here. I mean, we can count back all the way when Roethlisberger. When these guys would face off, it was to the. I mean, we don't want to use the word to the death, but I mean, let's just say along the lines, this was a slobber knocker, one on one. I mean, this was just great games, Everett. I mean, it was great games. Here's the deal. The thing is Mark Andrews needs to step up. Poor guy. I know he's doing what he can. It's just that his numbers have dropped. And then, I mean, especially with the rotation of the running backs with injuries, and then Marcus Peters have been kind of quiet. I mean, questionable on his plays. The thing is they already locked up their wild card spot, so I don't see why they're in such a, because Baltimore don't really need home field advantage. They can go to anybody's stadium and cause havoc. So I'm going to go ahead and, who'd you take, Tristan? Did you take Baltimore?
Yeah, I took Baltimore.
I'll go ahead and take Baltimore. I just think their game plan is going to be just to make sure that Pittsburgh, they get prepared for the playoffs. So, all right, we got the game of the week brought to you by Sky Trampoline. We have,
drum roll, please. That's your drum roll.
When a tempo isn't specified, any reasonable person would default to lento.
the Cincinnati Bengals.
Cincinnati, Cincinnati, we got a team right here in town. Ain't gonna ever let us down.
Who they? Going against the Buffalo Bills. All right, Chris, take it away.
Well, you know who I'm going to go for. I'm going for my Bengals. Joe Burrow was looking pretty good in the first half last week. This is going to be a tough one for sure. Monday Night Football, though, at home. The jungle there in Cincinnati has been pretty loud and raucous since Joe Burrow took over, and I expect it to be the same. It's going to be a good game. I mean, this is obviously a playoff level game. You've got two division leaders in the game, and so hopefully the Bengals can still keep their roll going. I'd like to see him take down the Bills.
Is Von Miller back?
No, he's gone for the year, I believe.
Okay, I'm going to take the Bengals. Joe Burrow, who's looking good until the Patriots shut him out, and Jamar Chase.
I'm going for the Bengals. Woo, y'all got this, Chris. They got this. Yeah,
you don't want to go to Buffalo.
What are your real
He
intentions?
does not want to go to Buffalo.
No. I think the Bengals can pull this out. I think it's going to be a great game. But the Bengals are playing really good, man. Joe Burrow and Joe Mixon, why wouldn't they win, honestly?
Give me the Bills. I'll take the Bills here. I want to see the playoffs go through Buffalo, and Josh Allen, he deserves a home.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does. He does deserve a home field advantage. Dealing with Kansas City all this time, I feel like he's gonna go into this one, and he's gonna fight for that win.
Bills Mafia, I heard you. I'm hearing you. And guess what? We're going to deliver. We're going Buffalo. And I'll tell you why. Because Brandon Oliver is going to create havoc to Joe Burrow. I think this Monday night what's going to happen is like this is going to be a great game. This is a playoff. This is going to be a playoff. Oliver. Who did I say?
You said it's Ed.
Ed Oliver.
Oh, gosh. Okay, I'll take an L for that one. Okay, here's the deal. Let's just go back to basics here. The thing is Josh Allen can torch that front line of the Bengals. Mm-hmm. Now, remember, the Bengals know how to adjust. They've been there and done that. And so we're going to get to see what we're looking into, because at the end of the day, one of these two teams are projected to go against Kansas City. Now, I think nationwide, the people that are against Kansas City, let's just take a tally. Tristan, who would you rather play if you guys go to the
Bills.
AFC? You'd rather play the Bills?
Yes.
Hey, how about you?
We always beat the Bills in the playoffs.
Okay.
True.
Okay, Chris, if you go, who would you rather face?
I mean, right now, I'm going to say probably the Bills. I'd rather play the Bills. I mean, we'll see maybe after Monday, I'll be like, no, my gosh, no. But Kansas City, even though we've beat them, they're due for a win for one. And but watch out what you say, because you guys have been whooping on AFC West for a long time. Those guys are due for a win over there too.
Yeah. If I were the Chiefs, of course, I mean the Bills would be the better choice. I mean, because you guys are a bit familiar how to beat them in the playoffs. But I mean, this is a game where we're going to see it's all cards are on the table. And the thing is Josh Allen, this is his year, and I agree with you, Travis. If he's going to prove it, this is one of the games he's got to put in his pocket. Take down the current AFC champs. Take them down and get ready. Keep the eye on the prize, because after that game, they only have one more game, and I believe it's their last game of the season.
Dolphins.
The Dolphins.
The Bills.
The Bills and Dolphins.
No, haven't they played twice already?
Yeah, they played twice.
Oh, so it would be the Patriots then. No, they already beat the Patriots. The Jets?
Maybe the Jets. It's probably a divisional game.
I think it's the Jets.
Okay.
It's the Patriots.
The Patriots.
Oh,
Okay.
we were close.
So therefore, this is going to be a unique game, and I think this is going to be one of the best games of the year. I think the both of them are gonna go all out. But at the end of the day, whoever becomes the winner, that they got the advantage. But it's not going to be the last time, and that's why Buffalo. I feel they have that sense of urgency to win this game, so they can keep it and go to let the AFC go through Buffalo. All right, well that concludes Week 17. Let's take a quick pause and thank our following sponsors.
Razor Cut Information would like to thank you, Ernie Relas, at State Farm, located at 11330 East Central, Wichita, Kansas. Please visit Ernie to talk about your home, auto, life insurance needs. As they say, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Thank you, Ernie.
All right, we got the DDK Fantasy Football lineup. Chris, who do you put in?
Honestly, this is probably most people's championship weeks coming up, Week 17. I've been out for a couple weeks, so haven't paid any attention. But my advice is at this point in the game, man, brought who's got you there. I mean, dance with the lady you brought type of deal. The team, if you're in the finals this week, go with the team that got you. Because I know there's a lot of stuff with the Raiders. Do I play Devontae Adams because they've got Derek Carson? Well, yeah, he's still their number one pass catcher. Like, the plays are still going to be designed to go to him. Maybe Josh Jacobs will have a little bit better game than normal, but you can't control that if you're playing top players or not. So play the top players you got on your team, the guys that have performed well enough to get you to the championship. Don't try to get fancy now.
This week starts Travis Etienne against the Texans. Last 2 weeks he's had 18 points. This is another week that he's probably going to have another big game. Sid Deonta Foreman, Panthers running back. I feel like with Villavea, their defensive line, I feel like he'll have a struggle of getting points this week. And then sleeper is going to be Teddy Bridgewater, I feel like.
All right, let's see. Start Keenan Allen. Ever since he's come back from injury, I saw he's been the wide receiver number 9. He's a top 10 wide receiver, and he's been playing phenomenal. He's what gotten me into the championship in one of my leagues. So, yeah, thank you. He's been playing great. I think you should sit Jerick McKinnon, despite he's been doing pretty good the past 3 games, but last week we saw Pacheco starting to take a load off of him. And if it wasn't for, he's very touchdown dependent, McKinnon is, and if he doesn't score a touchdown, he's probably not going to get a lot of points. And with Pacheco on the rise again, I would sit McKinnon.
I'm glad you brought that up because that's what happened to me. That's how I lost. The Packers, what they did was the week before, Jones was getting all the touches, and guess what? Dillon ends up taking. So AJ Dillon,
the ball
if you guys have AJ Dillon, I would start him as your sleeper. I would definitely have James Conner. I mean, James Conner has stepped up these past few weeks. Who I would sit? I would definitely sit whoever's playing in the game against the Jets. So Seattle, right? Yeah. Because Sauce Conner, I would not see them being successful.
Talking about receivers?
Receivers. So there was like DK Metcalf.
I think Kenneth Walker's going to have.
So, I mean, on the run game. So, yeah. And who would you – okay, so who would you not start again, Travis?
Donta Foreman, the running back for
you
Carolina.
Said McKinnon and Chris?
I said play who brought you to the games.
Okay, who would you not take?
Who would I not play this week? See, I don't think Walker's going to have a great game there in – the Seahawks. I got to go with that. Jets defense is real, and I don't think that any of the Seahawks players are going to be overcoming
Chris.
that.
This is championship week. You don't want to make anybody lose a championship for starting.
I know, and that's why I stayed out of it to begin with.
All right, that concludes the DDK Fantasy Football lineup. Congrats to all the people who have made it to their championships and the people that are going through the playoffs. All right, let's move on over to the Driz and Lowe's Players of the Week. Driz, who you nominate?
Player of the week, give me Mr. George Kittle. This is the second game in a row where he's had, I think 0.5% of the snap share or whatever. He's been playing really great offensively. Love seeing it. And defensively, give me Nick Bosa. He's one of the reasons why they shut out whoever they played, man. So he's been playing really good football.
I'm also going to go with Nick Bosa for defensively. Offensively, I'm going to take Joe Burrow this week.
Yeah, I'm going defense. Nick Bosa as well. He has just been a tear out there in San Francisco. And offensively, I'm going Joe Burrow as well. He was lighting them up in the first half. Had 3 touchdowns. I think it was 40 of 52. Just was picking apart the Patriots there for quite a bit of the game.
So I'm going to call it out right now. This is really rare moment that I do this, but I'm going to give an apology and a shout out to all my Cowboy fans and to Driz. CD Lamb, holy moly. He was telling me since week 1, and I kept saying, yeah, whatever. He ain't. Dude, wow. This guy against the Eagles, he torched them.
Oh, yeah.
He torched them. So I'm going to give it to CD Lamb. And defensively, you got to hand it to the Vikings second half. Because, again, Minnesota comes up when you need them. But the thing is like Hendricks is what a great, he's a great defensive player. And he's, especially when you're playing in point, what's the point setup on fantasy when it's individual? It's what's it? It's a
PPR.
Yeah. So congrats to them. All right, so let's go ahead and move on over to our favorite episode of
Who's Hot? Who's Not?
All right, Driz, take it away. Who is hot?
Who's hot? All right, I feel like this team I'm going to name is going to be a surprise, but I think that Houston's hot. They beat Tennessee, and the 2 games prior to that, they hung in with 2 of the top teams in both the AFC and NFC, the Cowboys and the Chiefs. They've been playing really good, despite, having a terrible record and losing.
Mm-hmm.
I think they are hot to, end the season.
Yeah, I'm. Tristan kind of stole that from me. I was going to go Texans. One, because I don't think we're going to be able to say that very often. Yeah. We haven't all year for sure. And like you were saying, they've been playing really well. I've got them, as you heard earlier in the show. I picked them to win this next week's game, so I definitely think they're hot and on a bit of a roll.
I'm going to go with the Jags. Taking over the division, I feel like they're going to be the hot team for the AFC South for future.
I'm going to go with the 49ers, getting a crucial win off of the Commanders. And they're now, if I'm right, they're now the top spot of their division.
Yeah, they won the division. I'm going to take the Los Angeles Chargers. Come on, you guys.
That was my second team.
Are you kidding me? The Chargers are back in. Yeah, you owe me later after the show. Here's the deal. The thing is that this is the Justin Herbert we wanted to see. The person that's taking command and getting everybody going. I'm telling you, if we see a resurgence, if a possibility, and they keep doing what they're doing, maybe nobody wants to play the Chargers. I mean, they might not want to play them. I mean, I get it. Kansas City has had their number and things like that. But the thing is like, if they play right, you never know. Look what happened to Cincinnati last year. Mm-hmm. Could that be one of those things where the expected be the unexpected? I mean, who knows? So now let's go on over to the womp, womp, womp. Who do you got?
I'm going to take the Titans. They lost to the Texans.
Good point. I'm going to go with the Dolphins, man. They just cannot seem to get out of their own way the last month. They were tearing it up, and now here I think we're 3 or 4 game streak of losing to teams for the most part that they should not be losing to, as if they want to be a playoff contender. So maybe they don't anymore. I'm not sure.
For like the 10th time this season, I gotta go with the Broncos. What a way! Man, y'all finally decided to fire y'all's head coach, and Russell Wilson still has less touchdowns than he has bad things in his house.
I'm gonna go with the Colts. Can't decide who's gonna be their quarterback, and the fans were booing them hard Monday night. I mean, the decision making on the field has not been showing up, so I'm gonna go with the Colts.
There's a possibility of a lot of teams I could think of, but I'm going to go with the Dolphins. They're riding on a 4-game losing streak, and the thing is like their identity going in. I mean, they've got the weapons. I mean, we've praised them during the first half of the season, and now they're kind of slipping. And the thing is they're barely holding on. I mean, they have to make sure they win if they're going to go in the playoffs. But I mean, going in, if the season would end today, they would play the Chiefs, I believe. If the season would end today, and the thing is they're gonna get beat. So I'm going to give it to the Dolphins. So that concludes Week 17, you guys. We are getting ready to start up the 2023 season with back to our episodes of The Cutting Crew is making a comeback. Don't forget Anime Insomniac. Also, we are going to do the breakdown playoffs of the Wild West. And also, we will do is our favorite show of Sportsfellas. We're going to have that going as well. So any shout outs before we go?
Shout out to you, Carlos and Eric. Thank you. And then a shout out to Andrew, my buddy, Chargers fan. So let's go.
Yeah, shout out to you guys. Nice being back on the show. I missed a couple of weeks, and it's nice to be back.
Shout out to you guys and the people behind scenes making this possible.
And thanks everyone out there listening, and shout out to my other Houday hopefuls out there in Cincinnati and across the nation. Thanks for rooting. Let's go Bengals.
Thank you guys as well coming into the show. This is amazing, and we're finally going to be in the playoffs pretty soon, so it's going to be much more to talk about. Give a shout out to my Dallas Mavericks fans. I mean, Luka played phenomenal yesterday. If you're a basketball fan, the guy made history. I mean, he played great, 60 points. I mean, he had to do a triple-double on top of that. I mean, the guy played great. Also, shout out to the whole nation of Argentina for winning the World Cup. That was great. You guys really, I mean, that was just crazy. Helicopters coming in. Sound like a CIA mission or something. No, but great job. And also to the people that are coming out of their breaks, getting ready to get back to school, focus for all our seniors that are about to graduate and everyone in college and so forth. And thank you to everyone that tunes into our show. All right, we're out.